Alright, today I thought I'd show a little bit of Rhythm Fighter gameplay. I was given this key by Sandbox Publishing. They're very nice to give this to me. I've been interested in this game for a while, but I just never really got around to it on PC. I've been playing this quite a bit. I can't really do a really detailed overview because I don't quite know what I'm doing, but I thought I'd explain the basic mechanics. So basically, if you played like single screen beat 'em ups like One Finger Death Punch, all the clones of that game, this is very similar, but you have free movement, and also everything is dictated by beat of the song that's playing. There's actually quite a bit to it. It's a lot more involved than One Finger Death Punch because you actually have to dodge attacks, you have invincibility frames and stuff. It's actually quite difficult. There's a lot to this game, way more than I was expecting. So for your persistent elements, you have things in here that you can buy. And you have achievements, and the achievements are actually good achievements because they actually give you things. It's not just unlocking things for e-cred. There's also special training in the game as well, which I think is always a very useful thing to have in a roguelike because it allows you to practice and get better at whatever is causing you to keep losing your runs. So I've fought about half of the bosses in the game so far, and you're actually able to play them again, which is really cool. Alright, well, let's get into some gameplay. It's not going to clear, by the way. I'm just going to kind of show the gameplay mechanics. Pretty self-explanatory so far. Music's pretty nice. I think this game is actually Chinese or Taiwanese developed, so kind of got that flair to it. You know how a lot of these rhythm-based games are like Western developed. So a lot of times you get like generic pop and stuff. Game's got a very unique music. As you can see here, the frame rate is not consistent at all. Uh, I'm a stickler for high frame rates and stuff. I'll be the first to admit that, but I feel like you have a game based on hitting perfect rhythms. It doesn't really make much sense to have the frame rate drop at any time. Now, this is actually my first time playing this in docked mode, so I thought maybe it was just a portable mode thing, but it's actually happening here as well. I think that's the biggest thing that prevents me from playing this a lot more. Frame rate just tanks for no reason. It doesn't seem to affect the timings that much, but it's still very awkward. I think if anything needs a stable frame rate, it's a rhythm game. You can't have something like DDR or Beat Mania or poppin' music or something, randomly dropping frames. That can basically screw up your entire rhythm. A little bit frustrating that that's even an issue in the first place, but maybe they can patch it. Try to get a hold of them on social media or something. So, in similar roguelike fashion, there actually is a way to get to the speed zone, which rewards you with extra stuff. So, the beat energy is actually your persistent. See, you can use that to both upgrade characters and unlock new items. You also get those items at the start of a run as well, which is also really. It's good to know that this is running just as poorly in dock mode as portable. It's something they can work out with patches, but it's definitely prevented me from playing this as much as I'd like. It's cool of a game as it is. Silky smooth 10 FPS. Let's get the speed zone. A pretty good run so far. Farthest I've gotten is the third level. I always wipe on the third level, so hoping this build will carry me. They really need to fix this frame rate. It's one thing if you're not sensitive to frame rate. Obviously I am. I'm a pretty big stickler for good frame rates, but you can't really have it happening that often when you're playing a rhythm game of all things. That's just not how it works. It's actually starting to make me feel a little bit nauseous. It's weird how they have an option to like change the input delay if you feel like your inputs are being eaten or they're offbeat, but they didn't bother to make the frame rate run at something that's actually acceptable in a kind of game like this. Very odd decision on their part. Definitely should have prioritized the performance above everything else. Frame rate attack. I'm sorry, but they really need to fix that. Not cool. There is a fast travel in the game as well, which helps to increase the pacing. Thinking I'm gonna buy this game again on PC. It's probably a lot more playable when it's actually staying at the frame rate it's supposed to. You know what? I don't even want to deal with that run anymore. Well, there's some Rhythm Fighter gameplay. Like I said, it's a very unique game. It's just, at least on this version of the game, the frame rate really hurts it. There's not really much of an excuse for it. You know, you can have games that run like PowerPoint presentations, like Hyrule Warriors and stuff, but unless it physically makes you sick to play games with frame rates like that, like it does for me, it's not really that much of an issue. But when you're playing a rhythm game, it needs to be running at 60 FPS at all times, no matter what. Whatever concessions or sacrifices you need to make to make it run at 60 FPS locked is what you need to do. I was hoping when I turned on this video today, this is my first time playing it in docked mode, that it would only be doing that in portable mode, but the performance actually seems the same, so it seems like there's something wrong with the engine. It's kind of like what's happening with the Neo 2 PC port, where it's just certain things just tank the frame rate, and you don't ever hear about like DDR or Beatmania or Poppin' Music or Pump It Up, any of those games dropping frames, because that would completely destroy the point of it. I definitely think that's something they need to fix on this version of the game. This game is available on PC as well, so if you have a gaming PC, obviously you don't really need a beast of a rig to play something like this. If you're interested in what you just saw, I would recommend getting it on PC right now, because this port is it's a blessing and a curse. Roguelikes are really great to have on Switch, because you have things like sleep mode and things, so that you don't always have to commit playing through the whole game in one sitting. And roguelikes in general are pretty short, easily digestible experiences that are great for a scenario. But a lot of times the frame rate can really hurt it, and this game is no different. I think this is actually the worst instance of a roguelike port on Switch, because the whole mechanics don't really work when it's dropping frames, and makes it very awkward to control. If I do play this more, it'll probably be when or if they actually patch the frame rate on here, or if I get it on PC. I actually like this enough that I think I would buy it again. This was actually a review key given to me by Sandbox Strategies, but I like the game enough. I think I'm going to throw these developers a bone and just buy it on PC. But if I can, I'll contact them and see if any optimization or performance patches will be done. Thanks for watching.